In today's episode, we'll discuss what criteria to consider when evaluating technology for managing your school's curriculum, featuring Dr. Shafik Habal from Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. So let's talk about holistic success. Hi, everyone. I'm Kelly Dore, co-founder and VP of Science and Innovation here at Acuity Insights. Welcome to this episode of the Holistic Success Show. Here with me today is Dr. Shafik Habal, who is the Assistant Dean for Curriculum Management and Reporting at the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. Dr. Habal has extensive experience in managing medical education curriculum at medical schools both in the United States as well as internationally. He brings extensive expertise in curriculum mapping and implementation with a focus on how we really leverage innovative technology to address our evolving challenges of medical education. I know he has spent a lot of time thinking about these topics both on his own and with colleagues, so I am excited to dive in. It's so great to have you on the show, Shafik. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us and share the deep experience you have on the curriculum management side. I'd love to start by hearing more about your work as an Assistant Dean for Curriculum Management and Reporting. What excites you about the work, and what are some of the biggest challenges that you face?
Good to be here. Yeah, so actually in my role at PCUM, I'm in charge of three main tasks: develop and maintain a curricular map, and also coordinate and facilitate the process of course evaluation, and also facilitate the periodic, every once in a while, program review. Now, in terms of curriculum mapping, and that is actually the meat and butter of my work, I have to actually develop a curriculum map and use that map pretty much to offer the Office of the Provost with curriculum reports, accreditation reports. I also provide the curriculum deans with gaps and redundancy reports. And for the faculty and the students, actually, I have to maintain a searchable inventory. This is not something that every curriculum map, this is not a main component of every curriculum map, but actually I think it is something that is very important. In that case, actually the faculty become the end users, which is important. For the course evaluation, we meet with course directors, we check with them what worked, what did not work, we recommend curricular changes, and we use the resources and the technology we have to track the outcomes of these curricular changes. Did they work? Did they not work? And then we take all of that and we use the map and the technology that we have to track competencies and basically review the program and make sure that, our curriculum is aligned to the program objectives. This excites me a lot. I get to work in two fields that I'm very passionate about: medical education and technology, and it really helps. I feel I'm uniquely positioned because I got to experience this aspect of medical education as a student, as a faculty, and now as a faculty and also an administrator. So I understand some of the challenges that will arise, some of the needs, that come up. But ultimately, this for me started as a hobby. So it is something that I really enjoy. And, I'm thankful to the administration because I got support. And at some point, that hobby got out of hand. Some people like skydiving. I like curriculum mapping. And so but again, it is fun, but also nothing comes without challenges. So yes, I've got to experience challenges with that role. I actually have a better appreciation to project managers because you don't know what the balancing act that you have to maintain until you get there. But ultimately, for any project, managing the curriculum is just like managing any project. You need, few elements. You need innovation. You also need the know-how, the knowledge, but also very important, you need resources. The first two are plentiful: innovation and knowledge. It is resources where it becomes a little bit dicey.
I love this so much. We are birds of a feather, Shafiq, when we talk about our passion and love for curriculum mapping, technology, and med ed. What I love is that you really described the power that can be unlocked for the program, for faculty, and for students when you have a well-designed curriculum map that you can dig into. That is the power of, I think, what we're going to be talking about is really thinking about technology and being a piece of that, and really unlocking the power of a you can have an incredibly well designed curriculum, but if you can't evaluate it as you're going through, you may have redundancies and gaps that, your faculty who are very focused sometimes in their own area, developing some of their own content, they may not see, and the students also may not know, "Oh, I struggled a little bit here, where does it come next in the curriculum?" And I love the way you describe sort of unleashing that power. So we know technology is a really central part of curriculum management today. But from your perspective, how has it been a game changer? And are there ways it's created maybe new challenges for us as well?
Exactly. I mean, if you go back 20 some years ago, I mean, we've always been mapping a curriculum, but, why we map it, uh, for the most part, it was actually to, make sure, we are achieving certain outcomes. But those maps only benefited or were only used for accreditation purposes. They were rarely a program used these maps for a function that is a little bit more. Of course, you have to put more into it to get that. But if that is part of the planning, it becomes a little bit easier to implement. But yeah, I mean, again, I mean, the technology is, medical education is rapidly evolving, and so is the technology that is available to facilitate that advancement. And if I want to go back from personal experience, when I got into this field, started to not think only as a faculty, as someone who's, how is the curriculum running? That started I mean, it goes back to 2014 when we were given a Word document that has a table, and we were asked for every session that we have to put in, the identifying data, the title of the session, the date, and then put the learning objectives, put reading material, put exam question, and it just felt. I looked at it and I thought, man, it is not efficient way of doing this. There must be an easier way of doing this, because even when we complete this, okay, what are we going to get out of it? How are we going to utilize this information that we put in it? And I thought there must be an easier way. And I collaborated with other faculty members, and we thought, okay, this feels like a punishment. Let's see if we can find a way to submit this information online and maybe store it in a database. So we researched this, and I had to learn how to. Okay, what is a database? I mean, I never really delved into this aspect of technology, so I had to start learning about databases. Okay, and then we made this form that asks the same questions, but then because of the use of drop downs and check boxes, what would take as a 15 to 20-minute process to complete for each session with that Word document, now we can do it in a few minutes, a couple of minutes, because all you have to do, basically clicks. And then we collected this database. But then now, okay, what do we do with this database? So we actually had to learn more. And most of the effort back in those days, a lot of institutions, those efforts actually, because the technology landscape was really different. So everyone started homegrown. But then when we started homegrown and then we had some outcomes, resources started to flow. And at that time, we thought, okay, well, now we have to explore how to, there must be a technology that is going to facilitate this process, make it easier for us. And that's when we started researching. But again, and if I look now at what we have, and what we were, the way we were operating back then, I would have done things a lot different. I mean, the field is changing, rapidly. Yeah, I mean, so these are, I mean, and again, if I mean, if you go to any educational conference, when every solution had, where solutions were separate, now solutions are integrated, and it's easier to seamlessly integrate these processes, and that is why research is very important. So, but it's a lot of fun. It is always exciting. I get excited every time I go to a conference, and I get frustrated too, because okay, man, okay, now I we were doing something, and now there is a new technology that helps us, and I say, oh, I wish we can have that.
Because it is, technology is evolving fast and our needs in medical education are evolving fast. I love what you described sort of about that word doc, and I was laughing as you described it because we've all been there. We've all seen this doc and we're like, okay, I'm going to fill it out, but what's actually going to happen?
Yeah,
what's going to what's
not
going
much.
to exactly. And so, I've taken to saying, we always used to talk about like data is power. And I don't think data is power. I think when you can actually manage the data and gain insights from the data, that's where it becomes powerful, when you can take action on the data. And so I love that you described not just, finding more efficient ways to collect it, but it's actually about, unlocking it and being able to do stuff with it, that research piece.
It is very rewarding actually when you start making these connections, and is even more rewarding when you find better ways to make these connections and present and use these connections. And it is ever changing. It is constantly changing, and new things are emerging every day. So it is a fun
Exactly.
field.
It is. And as we think about, precision medical education, we all know precision medicine, but as we move towards precision medical education and really thinking about how do we understand the nuances and support students and really meet them where they are and help them grow to be their best selves, in a what is sometimes thought of as a very static, rigorous, rigid structure that we're putting them
Correct.
into. I think that the power of the curriculum map really allows us to unlock it a little bit, to foreshadow when challenges are going to come up, to start to anticipate, when we can intervene or provide support for people who struggled in other areas. We can, there's so much potential.
Yeah, Kelly. I mean, because I mean, you see, because that map now is connected to every element of the curriculum. It
Exactly.
is not in silo. It is connected to assessment. It is connected to evaluation. It is connected to schedule. It is, uh, and that is very important. So, and that is done by technology.
Okay. So when you said, when I go to a conference, I see so many options and I'm like, I want that. When you're trying to figure out the right technology for your curriculum management in medical schools, tell me about some of the features or capabilities specifically that you think are non-negotiable, that are sort of like the key must-haves in what any program would be looking for.
So that really depends on your needs. It depends on your objective. For me, I mean, I am not specifically involved in all aspects of curriculum management, so I will not discuss learning management systems. But for me, again, for me, the I when it comes to mapping, I have three questions. I have the question, why are we mapping? And to me, the answer, I mean, there are three main answers. I want to map because I want to satisfy an accreditation requirement. That is essential, that is necessary. So it has to, the whatever platform I choose, whatever technology I choose, it has to facilitate this process. I mean, a lot may say we do this, but I need to make sure that it does exactly what I want. Second, I want to be able to use this map to make data driven curricular changes.
Yes.
So I want that map. I want the technology to help me, to enable me make that connections between the map and also between other aspects of the curriculum. And third, for me, and I think to some it'll be most important, as I mentioned earlier. I mean, the faculty and students being as end users, I want them to benefit from that. So to have a highly adaptable and searchable database that presents results, accurate results to faculty, that really is very important. So those are, for me, those are important. I need them. Those are not negotiable. Now, in general, though, I also have other items that are extremely important and they apply to any technology. You know, is this platform going to integrate? Is this technology going to integrate with what we have at our institution? So that is a rate limiting factor. It has to communicate with what we have. So I want to make sure that this happens. Once that is done, now in hindsight, I have learned you want to, is it how easy is the technology to implement? What resources I'm going to have to make available for that? Because also that is an important question. And customer service, training and customer service. I where in the past I have not considered, I now know the benefit and the need to have this as a priority. You're going to have problems. Things are not going to work at some point, and you need someone to be there to help you and walk you through it.
Yes, technology is not without its hiccups.
Yeah.
And it's about easing that, smoothing out the road bumps that might come across. I love that. There are programs who are, I think, currently evaluating or switching to new curriculum management technology. How do they set themselves up for success? Because I think that's sort of always, the concern when you change technology is it feels like this, even if what you have isn't quite working, you don't want to leave it. How do they set themselves up for success so that it's as smooth as possible?
The technology is always evolving and it's becoming better and it is becoming more easy to integrate and it becoming the one-stop shop basically for a lot of solutions. It is the integration. All institutions, they have their learning management system, but then often they add to that separate platforms like for curriculum mapping, for assessment, for evaluation, for scheduling. But now those are all now able to be under one umbrella.
Yeah.
So this is actually extremely important. The ability to have your students as part of your curriculum. You track your students, your schedule is tracked through the system, assessments are done automatically, evaluations are integrated, are part of the process. And it becomes it enables you to run the curriculum a lot more efficiently. The challenges become resources. And if you are able, I would say, for any program manager, if you are able to find that solution, I would go with it. The problem is, so if your institution is going through a process where we want to consider a new learning management system, make sure that system integrates all these solutions. It is a lot easier than having to deal with and then make sure that they're communicating and talking.
Yeah, the siloed data is really problematic, and thinking about
Yeah.
how you bring together sort of like the best solutions is always the and making sure they're actually talking to each other. That you're not just having this thing over here that doesn't actually allow you to link your curriculum to your scheduling to your assessments, as you said earlier.
Yes, and that is very possible now. You actually have options to choose, and that is why it becomes, you have to make sure you're choosing the right something that fits your program.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Shafiq, thank you so much for
Yeah,
sharing all of your insights and really a great chat today. I
yeah,
feel like there is more we can unlock in terms of the types of research you might even want to do on your curriculum side of things that would be really interesting because I think some folks don't know where to start, how to start digging in, or if they're implementing a new curriculum, where to start looking.
actually, that is the most important step. The most important step is research. I would say my recommendation for anyone who is actually either involved in the process or getting involved in the process: research, research, and more research, plan, and then implement. Make sure that the platform that you're choosing actually fits your curriculum needs. Talk to clients, talk to people who users, you know, and always make sure that when you're planning, the end user is in mind. You're thinking, okay, those are the needs of the students, the needs of the admin, the needs of the deans, because that actually makes it easier for you to choose the right product. And when you know the outcome that you're looking for, it makes it a lot easier. When I first started, I wasn't aware of a lot of the this discussion, but you'll learn, and hopefully you'll find the platform that fits your need and it'll work for everyone.
I love it so much. Well, we
Thank
will
you.
book another session to chat research because that's at my heart too. So I
Sure.
think that would be a lot of fun. To all of you, thank you for watching or listening. And if you haven't already subscribed to our show, please do so. But share this episode with any colleagues who you think might find it useful. And with that, we'll catch you in the next episode.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Holistic Success Show, please be sure to check out our other episodes. We have episodes coming out regularly all the time, so please be sure to subscribe so that you can stay up to date on all things related to student and program success in higher education.